let's review the plan. The plan is this our first supply zone and hit it, and then huge rejection, right? So I shorted the NQ yesterday, but I acted a little bit too soon. So on 240 minutes, we have uptrend, right? Low, higher low, high, higher high. And as long as this holds, we're uptrend, which meaning we should go back to at least 57.80. And with overshooting, I'm aiming 58.10. And so that's also on the left-hand side, you see, I even put the Fibonacci retracement on. So 58.10 is only 32.8%. And 50% with 200. I think this really should be where the wave two going to. We talk about it over the weekend. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about technical levels. I want to talk about what I see and what I think about inflation and near future and long-term future. Um, so you guys can be prepared. It's not financial advice. It's just what I see, what I think. So on Sunday, during market recap, I said this year feels like Trump's first term, 2018. And this time, even more so than the first term. First term, we didn't have a recession issue. Now, J. Paul keep worrying about inflation, but in reality, I'm more worried about deflation, stagflation, slowing in economy, and also soft labor market. Like China just went through that, and I think that's the next stage we're going to. So if you follow Truflation report, and also if you follow price, you don't really have to follow anyone. You can see the run price, the crude oil, the gas, right? As long as the crude oil is lower, everything comes lower. Egg is the exception. It's not a whole picture of inflation. Okay, it does hurt when you go to the grocery store, you pay $7 for 12 eggs or 18 eggs, but that's almost behind us. The shelter, right, with a lot of the illegal aliens or illegal immigrants deported, there are a lot of going to be shelters are unoccupied. So the newest report, the newly built apartment buildings or house, when the lease term is ending, only 40% running out. And a lot of it take much longer to run it out, meaning the renters, whoever the renters have a lot of negotiation power, meaning the rent, it has to be coming down and be soft. Otherwise, the renters will move out. So all the big items that I see, because I do what I do, so I pay a lot of attention beyond the daily watching market. I spend a lot of time reading different reports. So make sure that I'm stay current. And if I were J. Paul tomorrow, I think he should cut rate because his inflation is so much delayed. I follow that girl that Daniel, what's her name? It's hard to pronounce her name. Daniel DiMartino Booth. I have been following her for a few years, and she is usually spot on. She was the former Dallas Fed person, so she knows what she's talking about. And I follow, of course, Kathy Woods and Lynn Aiden, all those people reading their reports. So Trump with trillions of dollars expired debts. I think he's artificially induced a recession. Not doesn't mean we are going to be, but in the longer term, if you look at the past job report, most of the job growth are government job. Government doesn't make anything. They just pure expense, right? I don't know why the government is spending calculated in the GDP. It shouldn't. But now you see the auto industry, like the manufacturing report today, actually reporting a uptick activity and private sector job growing. We're cutting government. I mean, everything going to the right direction. There is a couple uncertainties, right? The tariff, because Jay Powell say, okay, this lot of the economists or gurus like, and they think the inflation is the tariff is inflationary. If you look at Trump first term, the price actually came back down. It's not, it's deflationary. And you already saw, and you already seen the results. The egg price, the shelter, all this price are already coming down. So what Jay Paul was arguing is not making any sense because this is not something new. We already went through. This is like we've been to the Holiday Inn, or this is not the first rodeo. We have gone through this. But Jay Paul is the one making decision, not me. So I know for one thing for sure, I think he's gonna go and the QT. Ending QT is a big deal too. So you have more liquidity to the market. And then he's probably gonna say, okay, there is uncertainty because of the tariff. But on the April 2nd, which is 2 weeks away, all this tariff, either reciprocal or normal tariff, going to be implemented. But we won't see results until at least May or June, right? It's going to take some time. And so if indeed the price is one-time shocker, which I think it is one-time shocker, and then things back to normal, which meaning we might have one more month turbulence. And so we are going to have a pop. I don't know what Jay Paul is going to say. I'm seeing ES to 5780 to 5800 area. And then that's probably in a less bullish momentum, which is now. I don't regret voting for Trump because in the long run, this is saving the country. And I didn't really mean to go off that because since Alice mentioned this, so a lot of the retired people in US cannot afford living in US. And they moved into Mexico, they moved to Asia, they moved to Belize, but Belize property has gone up so much. I have seen people, moving to Thailand or Philippines or back to China. And why? It's not because they love there more than in US. The base of cost living in US is not sustainable. So I'm just using myself as example. I don't know everyone's situation, right? So my husband and I, we don't have kids at home. We have no house payment. We don't have any car payment. And I don't really care about brands. So I don't really have to have like a Louis Vuitton or some fancy purse and shoes. And for me, like I'm just very easy going person. And the same as my husband. So food and property tax, insurance, utility bills. I mean, all this together, two of us, I think without $4,000 or $5,000, you can't really live comfortably. And that is after we don't have house payment, no car payment. think about a family of four with car payment, with house payment. This cannot go on US like that. Something has to be done. And that's why Trump is proposing no income tax for people making less than 150. I just saw a stats today. Actually, really today, I just saw it a few minutes ago. What is saying? So for a one person to live comfortably, you have to make at least 91 or 94,000. How many people making 94,000? I'm sure a lot of people in my room making that, but majority the middle class Americans don't. That's why the school has to subsidize for their kids breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in some cases, school have to pack food for the kid. That should not be the case. You cannot afford having two kids, a couple, two people working full time, and you can't even afford your kids' food. Something is apparently wrong, and this need to be changed. And that's what Trump is doing. And okay, you are not the only one suffering. My portfolio is suffering too. But if as long as we hold through this, I have shown you the SPY chart multiple times. Right, bring the jobs. So now you already see the manufacturing coming back, pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical industry is one of the worst. Like, the pain, whatever pills you go to the doctor, you're like your dog just died, or you just had some sad event, and they say, hey, you want a depression drugs? They're like they try to convince you to get hooked on those painkillers or depressant pills. Why is that? Because if you really, in reality, they only take 10 cents to make a pill and you're paying $5 for it. That's why the pharmaceutical company are pushing this kind of things and doing a lot of advertisement, billboard. That shouldn't be even allowed, right? So I'm really hopeful. I mean, for me, I don't really, my daughter doesn't want kids, so probably me and my daughter, that's it. Uh, but yeah, no, government average salary is 116,000. That's crazy. 116,000 for government employee, and majority of them don't really have a high education like you and I. I mean, I went to two times graduate school, MBA in finance marketing. I killed myself doing a full-time sales job and part-time MBA. I went back to chemical engineering. I did chemistry. And then you finally paid off all your debts, student debts, and you're able to pay off your house, pay off your car, and then you pay a killing amount of tax. That's why some days I get so mad, because when I was working full-time job and doing this Discord, my Discord money is not enough to pay my income tax between the two jobs. And I'm dying from the overwork. I'm like, why am I doing two works? I should just sit on my ass and doing nothing, getting some government phone, car, and house, right? So that's what the people, I think this all should be gone, should be merit based. And I really like the flat tax idea. You make a dollar, you pay 10 cents. I make $100,000, I pay 10%, whatever. So we're totally equal. So people are always asking for equality. But I feel like I have been discriminated in a big deal. Why? I never received one penny stimulus check from government. And my kids going to school cannot get grants, cannot get subsidies, and I mean everything. And I'm paying high tax and being discriminated because saying I'm too rich, and it should not be okay because everyone should be poor. Just like the people sit on their butt doing nothing, take government subsidies. So, right? Okay. So let's go back to So that's the reason why I'm thinking April is gonna have another dip, going to test this lower level, 55.30, 53.70. That's April. I know, me too. I don't even want to buying eBay cars. I can't get the whatever the 7,500 bucks either. So anyways, so April, I'm thinking when they bounce either here or there, I think in case when ES come to this level, we should start to cut some the call. I took profit on a lot of calls yesterday, and that was a good decision. So today I added back TQQQ call, but not as large position. Tesla, no, 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 not buy. Oh, car. Okay, so I want to go to talk about Tesla. Now enough of this, right? So I'm seeing April and then May, maybe by the end of April, towards mid or even beginning the April, we can see some deals being made. And May, June, so okay, there's really not a big deal. Just one-time shock on the price, the tariff, and then life goes on. So we start rally into, I want to say end of August, September. And then we come back one more leg down to 4,800. That's my prediction. And let's see. So far, my prediction has been pretty spot on for all the pullbacks. And so let's look at mega tickers. And Tesla is one of the tickers I've been warning you guys. Tesla is a good company, but because Elon Musk, this is all Mega 7 on daily chart. Here's August, right? August. So Apple went back to August, and Tesla almost, not quite. I think Microsoft is the really soft one. We're here. Like oh no, it's here, August here. It's went back to January 20, like December 2023. That's really low level. At the time, the ES was only 4,800. So Microsoft is one of the weakest. And you can see Netflix is the strongest. So Tesla, I'm seeing 202 as target. And I keep thinking, what could be the trigger? I think could be the earning plus the second April drop. So Elon Musk really made a lot of people upset. His old customer used to be the left, the more liberal people like greenies. Now they hate Elon because the Dodge, Doge, whatever. I mean, those people don't know how to think because they are paid by the, progressive, whatever um, because they don't want their crime to be discovered, I would say. A lot of the people, I see some of the news, some of the information post on X, you can't really trust 100%. Because I have seen a list like saying how much kickbacks each politician got from Ukraine. Okay, do I believe there's a kickbacks? Yes, definitely. Otherwise, why would those politicians are so enthusiastic give money away? There gotta be something good for them, right? Yeah, so I believe, but do I believe that list and a dollar amount is true? Nah. I mean, if that dollar amount is circulating on X, well, why did no one's being investigated or arrested, right? So has to be skeptical. The peace deal is not that easy, so it's gonna be okay. Let's schedule a talk. So we agree to talk. It's gonna take a round, and plus, I don't really. Who cares about Ukraine war? It's the least thing on my mind. I don't think that's impact market at all. However, I do believe it's gonna impact gold. So if there is a piece deal made. I think gold is going to come back down to this level, daily level. So that's why I ask you guys to take profit on gold or GDX, gold related product. So this, the W, right? W bottom. Um, so at least to this level. And this demand zone, I'm not gonna keep it. So if you have GDX, silver, I think is still okay. Silver, I think may catch up but if dollar could be bottom. So dollar being weak is good and bad. Good is that the global economy it's gonna go up. That's why you see Europe and China stock market are flying. But bad is that our market is down. So anyway, but it's so if gold dollar start go back up a little bit, it here look like a little bit the bottom. I'm hoping so market can rally, right? Rally a little bit and then come back down. And with fine, we can take some long position out, right? There's really no bullishness, yeah. So all these mega tickers, the only ticker that we saw how bullish flow is I warned Nvidia. I don't even think Nvidia, to be honest, I think it's gonna be go to 100 inevitable. The only ticker really bullish, Netflix. They are so tricky. They bought $10 strike call. $10. So people don't detect their a dark pool activity, I guess. $10. So this the only one on daily trend is not broken. Everything else pretty even Apple. Apple, like it was I was very happy Apple didn't drop, but it's catching. So we had a couple good Apple trades. Um, so Bitcoin is going up. I think it's good, right? Because there gotta be some good news. Bitcoin market, especially tech, Nasdaq, they're pretty much in sync already. So if Bitcoin is up and yes, overnight it's up a little too. So let me repeat. So tomorrow, if market up going to 5780, 5800 area, we need to start taking profit on the long gradually. Whatever the green position you have, taking some profit and reserve some cash. And if ES come back down to these two levels, I'm hoping just dropping here. And then we are really going to load the call on SPX. So I wrote this plan over the weekend and I'm repeating it. So other than that, I don't really have anything else to add because everything is depending on what J. Paul gonna say tomorrow, right? So anything I say is speculation, but we have levels and so worst case scenario, we're gonna have a probably limit of buying order on ES here, like MES. So I think I have done some experiment like over position. I think a lot of us losing money is because the position size. Uh, no one is always right, not even Jade. Kidding. So it's normal when you have direction wrong. What is not normal is one trade with wrong direction should not be killing your account, right? So that's why I asked that Jamie guy to leave my Discord. Okay, I'm being very responsible to him. I mean, if the more people come to my Discord, the better off I am because I get paid. But I don't want, I see him it hurting me. I so much struggle. He's not listening and he's taking one trade and his account gets slaughtered. It shouldn't be because position size, right? One trade position size shouldn't be 90% of your account size, right? So anyway, so I was doing experiment. I was doing like on future and on indices. So I purposely put on really large positions, and a lot of times you have no money left to add right? When the market is so low, but you're broke, you have no money to add at low. And also sellers exhaustion, they don't have no one to sell to either. So in reality is that's why I designed the Excel long-term portfolio is not a new Excel, right? I share that from day one. And I re-emphasize, please use it. That's how you manage your portfolio, right? Either long-term swing trade, like I write journey on my future trading every day, every day. What I trade, how many contracts, and even myself, sometimes when I have a heavy position, or like I can't sleep at night. Trading should not impact your sleep. That meaning you're not comfortable with your trade, then don't put on that trade. Like I say, I would rather not make money, not to lose money, right? And the more I watch Mark Minerini, the ticker he trades, a lot of them I never heard of. And he trades one or two a week. That's it. How many week trades, right? We do a lot of short-term trades, but most of the time, like days like this, we close at the end of the day. Right, right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so I told him, I said, look, I welcome you back anytime, but get your mindset right. Go back to study my class again. And when you're ready, come back in anytime. So anyways, that's all I have. And tomorrow we're going to be on live during J. Paul. I don't think he's going to be too hawkish. There's no room for that. But how he's going to say it, like one question, I don't know how he's going to address. And I know for sure it's going to be asked. So Atlanta Fed forecast GDP was negative 2.9, whatever, from positive, right? And even though they revised it, saying some gold import causing some discrepancy, but it's still negative. I believe there is a pump. So I think how he's going to address those questions, and they're going to ask him, "Hey, that labor market is so bad, and everything, consumer sentiment, and all that. Do you feel there is going to recession?" So a lot of the questions, depending on how he is going to address that, going to impact the outcome. So my advice is don't do zero DTE trades. Sit out until let the dust settle and then we go in. We already have long positions, shares, all that. I was doing fine until today. My gosh, all the mega tickers dropped so much. And I saw my account start to bleed. It was seeing so many nice green positions yesterday. Today I barely see any green. Because today the mega tickers are like dropping so much more. And so I still have after today cash settle, I have like about 10% cash. Less than what I would like because I added more TDD. I added a little bit of BL and AMZU. So all those long-term tickers, I think I'm almost full position and I'm not planning to add. And one goal is I try not to do short-term, either zero DTE, your loss is very limited, or you a long-term call option. I didn't do much cash secure put because I wasn't sure how low the market going to drop to. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope my view, my analogy is helping you guys to prepare or understand and think. All right, guys, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.